Hi, I hope you have looked at the first introductory video because you need to have been able to come to this chart which I am now showing on the screen. It's important that you understand what this chart actually talks about. So we'll look at the basics today to understand how to read a chart. Now look at this chart. This is a 5-year chart of the Nifty 50. 5-year chart of the Nifty 50. And first we need to introduce the volumes at the bottom of the screen. How do you do that? You go to indicators, type volume and click on this. Once you click on this, you will get the chart that I have already installed. Now this tells you a lot because if you look at it, look at the average rate at which this has been, transaction, the volume, the transaction volume on the Nifty 50 stocks, 50 stocks. You can see it increased suddenly over here, and this shows a huge jump from here, which is still an ascending chart because you can see that it was here and then it goes all the way up to here, which also means that there is a good volume that it went up. Now that is a strong indication. But then you saw the downward trend come once the election of President Trump happened, and then after that you can see it fell further down thanks to the Trump tariffs announcements, and then it has continued to go up, but once it has come to a particular point you can see the volume has actually dropped. Remember, this is a 5-year chart and it is a weekly chart, so it gives you the overall trend in the market, the market sentiment. So the market sentiment is represented by this red line, which is approximately 45 degrees slant, which means the growth is at 45%. And when this started way back on 13th of June 2022, and it's continuing all the way till now, and volumes are high, which indicates that there is no let up in the support. Now if you right click on the volumes and go to settings, you will also find that you can get a moving average, which is this blue line in the chart. So these are the basics in this chart. The 5-year chart, weekly closing, and the approximate trend line tells you where the market is going. This is an uptrend. Just because we had a drop doesn't mean the uptrend has been lost. Every time you have go up, it will go down. Nothing goes up in a straight line. So now, having seen this is the market sentiment we can easily take as a given. Indian markets are moving up. Now let's contrast this with Infosys. The Infosys has been basically stagnant since 7th of June 2021, which means if this stock is in your portfolio and you have been holding it for some time because you're building wealth, not trading, you will find that this is given you next to no returns. even if you count the bonus shares and all that, any stock, any company may have issued in the interim period of 5 years, it's still, the price remains same. Now your portfolio may have grown a bit, but the stock appreciation has not. Contrast this with Abbott India. Abbott India has a clear rising trend, and since June 2022 it has been going up. Sure, it's gone up and down and so on, but at the same time you got to see that this chart is a strong chart, and it has in fact defied the downtrend in the Nifty. This is also sometimes called a defensive stock. That means you can file it and forget it, and it may not give you multi-baggers, but it is sort of giving you a steady, handsome return. Look at another one, Adani Green. Adani Green has been more or less stagnant, just like Infosys. Unless you are trading, you are going to lose money in this stock. If you are a very long-term investor, where you buy and hold over a period of 5 full years, from 2nd November onwards, you will find that it goes up, yes. So unless you are going to be starting to sell and then buy back and sell and buy back, all of that kind of thing, this stock is not suitable to buy, hold and forget it. This is not that kind of stock. Same for Reliance. If you look at Reliance, since 2021, it is hovered up and down. Okay, it's a strong stock, no doubt, but it has not given you any appreciation in price. Now, it also happens that during this period, I think there was one bonus issue. But once the bonus shares are issued, the price drops to accommodate the diluted equity. What's the use? You're basically holding the same value. Okay? So this is the important thing to see. By having a different perspective on every chart, if you look at the 1-year chart, it has come down and now it is floating around its historical average, which is signified by the 5-year. If you look at Abbott, if you look at the 5-year chart, you can see it is clearly going upwards. Whereas if you look at the 1-year chart of Nifty, it has gone up, come down, but it has retraced to its trend line. So this is how a basic price chart has to be looked at. We also saw moving averages, which I will now dwell in some detail in the next session.